What's up, guys? Happy Saturday. Hope you're having a good weekend or whenever you're watching this. Happy Labor Day weekend. I just got done doing DoorDash a little bit ago. And what you see in front of me here are some walking liberties. Now, these are ones I had before you in the other video. The problem is I didn't have them organized, and now I have a few of them organized year by year. Do me a favor, guys. If you know like the special years, and I wrote them down. I wrote them down a couple of years ago. The years and stuff. This is old. Walking liberties, and I wrote it down. But if you know better than me and tell me what years to watch out for, please help me out. These are the 43s. These are 42s, 41s, 40s. Obviously, there's a lot of 43s. I haven't gone through these, and I got a couple more of these left that I got to get out of my storage. I think I have a couple left. It might be more. I don't know what it is. But the ones that I have here, I just try to organize them. So anyway, this video is not about that. I'm trying to just give you a little bit of eye candy here. What I want to talk about is something that's been bothering me, and a subscriber or a viewer, I don't know what he is, kind of is bringing this out of me. So I went to a coin shop today, and somebody there saw me and knew me through my YouTube channel. And, he was cool and happy to meet me, I guess, in the beginning. He had a couple questions for me about certain things. And then the conversation kind of turned into, I don't want to say a bash fest, but basically he got mad because I asked him about Bitcoin. And when I said something to him about Bitcoin, that's when his face just completely turned red, because everything he was talking about was silver and stuff like that, and gold and everything else. And he doesn't like the fact that I don't have gold. He loves the fact that I have silver, and he hates the fact that I have Bitcoin and I'm telling people about Bitcoin. And he basically said I'm a propagandist, and I'm giving out propaganda, and why don't I make another channel and all this other stuff. Now, he wasn't getting like violent or nothing like that with me, because if he was, let's just say it'll went another way. Okay, I'm a very, very nice guy. Sometimes people take my kindness for a weakness, but as nice as I am, I can be the other way pretty quick, and that's a fault. That's a fault of mine. That's definitely a character default of mine. But and I asked him. I said, "Hey, why don't you like Bitcoin?" He's telling me it's a scam and all this other stuff. The usual stuff. I said, "Okay, cool." And I wasn't getting mad at him. I said, "All right." I said, "Have you read the white paper?" "No, I haven't read that garbage." I said, "Okay." And I wasn't being condescending with him. I wasn't being sarcastic. I was really asking him, like, what knowledge did he have on it, and he didn't have any. From what he was telling me, I don't know. If you're watching this, I'm sure you are. According to him, he doesn't know anything about Bitcoin, and he don't want to know anything about Bitcoin, and that's okay. The problem is somebody that's telling me something that's bad, or talking about something with anger and telling me about it, and they're not informed, or they're an uninformed person. No disrespect, bro, but how can I listen to somebody that doesn't know what they're talking about in that area? I'll give you an example. I am not an astronaut. I don't know anything about NASA or anything like that. I'm not going to tell a rocket scientist or a dentist or something in a field that I don't know about, basically saying that's stupid. Now, I'm not saying I know everything about Bitcoin, but I've been doing it for 2.5 years, and I put a lot of effort into it. You know what I mean? This is piggybacking on another conversation I had with a friend of mine. I don't even know if I'm his friend. He's my friend. But basically, this guy can't stand Donald Trump. He thinks Trump is racist. He's the devil. He's all these different things. And I'm not saying he is or isn't. But I've shown him different things, basically opposing those views on why Donald Trump. I don't think he's a flat out racist. I don't know if he is or not. But I don't have any information or what's the word I'm looking for? I don't have any, what's that word I'm looking for? I don't have any, the word I'm looking for, to do that. I can't call him a racist based on what the mainstream media says or anything else. So clues, I think I'm saying. I don't have any clues or anything like that to say he is or isn't. I think we all are a little bit when it comes to certain things, but this guy, this is a friend of mine, and he has a biblical name, so I'll call him Jesus in this video. That's not his real name, but I'll call him Jesus. And Jesus is very angry. I got a phone call from one of our mutual friends, me and Jesus' mutual friends, and he said, "Hey man, I heard you were beefing with Jesus." I said, "What are you talking about?" He says, "Well, he tells me that you change, man. You say racism doesn't exist, and all these things, and you're a Republican now, or whatever he was saying." I was like, "Oh," I said, "Nah, I'm just not a victim, and I refuse to be that, because you get what you focus on, ladies and gentlemen. If somebody tells you you can't make it because you're a certain color, or somebody's a racist, or they keep telling you stuff over and over and over again, you're gonna believe that stuff." And I'm a big proponent in keeping my mind off the things I don't want and keeping my mind on the things I do want. And when you read this every day, the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States of America, the Bill of Rights, the amendments, the Bible, you read stuff like that and focus on stuff like this and learn about Bitcoin as I do, and learn about politics in the form of, are they sticking by this or not? Are they anti-establishment versus establishment? You start to see things a little clearer, and you understand that it's not red versus blue. You got to stick to the red, white, and blue, and that's what I do. And my friend Jesus is very angry with me because I say that I don't know if Trump is a racist or not, and then I show him videos and proof, and I've showed him documentaries on how the mainstream media is basically brainwashing us. And because he says he doesn't watch CNN and MSNBC, and bro, if you're listening to this, I'm not dissing you, man, I promise. But he doesn't listen to any of that stuff, but everything he's saying sounds exactly like everything else, and he basically thinks I'm stupid that I don't see that Donald Trump is this evil guy and a racist guy. And I'm sitting there going, there's no angle that you can tell me about that stuff, because I've heard it all. I used to be a Democrat. No, this was before Donald Trump became president, and I've heard every slander they've said about Donald Trump. So for you to tell me I'm uninformed about that, or how can I be so stupid not to know that? I know what the people say about him, but I actually know what he does. And the problem, and this is not about Donald Trump, I'm getting to the point here. The problem is, people, when they talk about Donald Trump, they just talk about their feelings. They never talk about his policies. I have a lot of things that he's done as a president that I like, and there's a lot of things that I didn't like. I didn't like his last year as president. I don't like the way he folded to the machine. I don't like what he did with COVID. I don't like what he did when he printed all that cash up. I don't like the way he shut down the government on a federal level, gave it up to Fauci and those guys to make those decisions. I don't like the way he handled the January 6th situation. Not as far as causing the insurrections. I don't think he did, but I just think he should have. He should be helping those people a little bit more, in my opinion. I heard recently that he has helped those people, but I wish, I wish he could do everything he can. Maybe he is, maybe not. I could be misinformed, but I wish he would do more for those people that are locked up for no reason. And then the guy from the Proud Boys, of course, he's a racist, according to the mainstream liberal media. He just got 17 years. The other guy got 15 years. And meanwhile, the people from the other side of the aisle, and Antifa and Black Lives Matter, people that burn down police cars, burn down police stations and everything else, they get a slap on the wrist. So, and this guy, my friend Jesus, just keeps telling me how bad Trump is. Meanwhile, Trump has been out of office over 2.5 years now, and he says he doesn't like Biden, which is fine. But if you're basing everything off of racism, Joe Biden has shown you, because that's why you don't like Trump, because he don't care about black people and all this other stuff. If that's the case, then why'd you vote for Joe Biden, and why are you not talking so bad about Joe Biden? Because he's blatantly a racist. And I don't care if somebody's a racist or not when it comes to my president. I care about if he's for this or not. I don't know what he says or does behind closed doors. And I don't want to be a racist when it comes to his policies. They really can't do that. And again, when people talk about Trump, they never talk about his policies. They only talk about their feelings. And that's what's wrong with, and I can say this as an African American male because I go through this too. That's what's wrong with a lot of African Americans. We go by our emotions instead of logic. And again, I do it too, and white people do it too, of course. But I think more of a percentage of us do that percentage wise than other people. That's just my opinion, and I've been a black man for 48 and a half years, so I can talk on that. But my friend just thinks I'm just stupid because I just do not see the stuff about Trump. Meanwhile, I've looked at all that side on the left side or the machine side or evil side, whatever side you want to call it. I've got all that information, but I've looked at the other side, the outside, and the middle, and I've taken in information on all that. Meanwhile, when I send him stuff, he doesn't even look at any of it. He only looks at the stuff that confirms his bias. And that's the problem. We have got to stop being or living in an echo chamber when it comes to silver, gold, platinum, Bitcoin, whatever. Your side of the aisle, your argument. People just do that. They just want to be right instead of finding out what is right. And my friend Jesus, I feel bad for him, man. We're probably not going to be friends anymore because he just gets so triggered when I tell him, man, hey, maybe you should take a look at this and that. And he's just like, man, I just cannot believe. I mean, again, bro, I'm not making fun of you, man. I said this in the text, so I'm gonna say this in the video. Trump derangement syndrome is a real thing, and people that stack precious metals and are for them, and also the people that stack Bitcoin that are against anything else but Bitcoin, and everything that the silver and the gold and the platinum people are against everything else. I think that's just a biased way of thinking. The guy I saw at the coin shop today, he just absolutely, his whole body changed when I was talking about Bitcoin, as my friend did, Jesus, when I started talking about Trump. You got to be reasonable and you got to be logical and you got to look at the facts. And when you look at the facts, you'll find the truth. And that's what it is. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. All I'm saying is I have my way of thinking, and it's God, family, country. And I read these things and I learn these things. I don't come from it, or I try not to come to it from a biased standpoint. That's why I was able to, when I had silver and gold and platinum for 7 months before I got into Bitcoin, that's how I was able to get into Bitcoin. Because I looked at all the cryptocurrencies, not all of them, but the major ones. I looked at all of those. I bought a few. I bought a Litecoin. I bought Ethereum. I had Bitcoin. And then I really started learning about each and every aspect of all these different things. And then once I did that, I figure out what's best for me. So guys, if you're on the left or the right, look at both sides, look at the middle, look on the outside. If you have silver and gold, look at all this stuff. I'm not telling you to look at Bitcoin because I'm saying it. I'm just telling you that there's a lot of smart people in Bitcoin. There's a lot of smart people on the left and on the right, or whatever your flavor is. But you got to look at it all and say, okay, what do I stand for? What do I want? What's the outcome here? When I look at money like this, or Bitcoin or Ethereum or gold or silver or platinum or whatever I'm looking at, what problem are these things solving that I'm looking at? And when I look at these cryptocurrencies, to me, they're not solving a real issue. Bitcoin is solving a problem. Not only is inflation crazy, not only are they going to a digital central bank digital currency, but I believe that they're taking away our freedoms with the money, inflating of the money and the debasing of the money. And I believe Bitcoin solves that problem over the long term. I believe Bitcoin right now is a savings technology. I believe silver is a hedge on inflation. I believe it's an industrial metal that needs to be used. It has to be used. As much as I love gold, you don't have to have gold. For certain things you do on a small scale, but compared to silver, it pales in comparison. And I have platinum because platinum, again, like silver, is a utility metal, and it's very, very rare. It's hard to get, and it's the baby silver, and it's used in a few things more than gold. But the percentage wise of platinum in comparison to gold, utility wise, it's definitely more used. I know people use gold for money in different countries, and I know they use it for collecting and stacking and hedge on inflation and everything else. I get that. I get all that. But again, what can gold do that silver and platinum can't do? I ask people that all the time. I get it. You can have more wealth in one area with the gold, but I make up for that in platinum. Platinum used to be double the price of gold, but now it's half the price of gold. So why would I buy 1 ounce of gold when I get 2 ounces of platinum, or 1 ounce of platinum and 75 ounces of silver with that ounce of platinum? You know, make it make sense to me, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm not knocking gold. You do what you got to do. But remember, I've had a lot of gold. I've had over 40 ounces of gold, give or take an ounce, because I had a bunch of tents and everything else. I love gold. You know what I mean? But this stuff does it for me better than that. But anyways, my point is this, guys. If you're dealing with an uninformed person that refuses to look at the other side, you know, I know we all have, especially the way the world is. Just try to help them and go, look, man, I'm not trying to be right with you. I'm not saying you're wrong. All I'm telling you is, man, there's more than one side of a coin. You know, there's several sides of a coin. You got this side, you got that side, you got over here, you got over there. You got all these different aspects. But if you're constantly looking for Trump bad, Biden good, Trump's racist, Obama's good, or whatever it is, Bitcoin's bad, silver's good, Bitcoin's bad. That's not the way to look at it. You got to look at all angles, man. And this is why when I'm fighting against this war, against this tyranny, is going against my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, my family, and this great country, I got to look deep and say, which is going to help me defeat that? And I think all the things that I said before with the silver, platinum, Bitcoin, and my belief system will help me do that. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.